Police in Mpumalanga have discovered decomposed bodies of two women inside a house in KaMagugu just outside Mbombela. It's suspected that the two victims were murdered and left in the house more than a day ago. Provincial police spokesperson Jabu Ndubane says police are combing the scene for clues. Relatives of the victims are also at the scene. Police are currently combing through the scene this moment. Here's SABC News Reporter Nhlahla Jele, who joins us now for an update on the story. So, Nhlahla, what more do we know about this devastating story?
Indeed, good evening to you, Mxolisi, and to the viewers at home. Sad state of affairs once again in the province. Two bodies found in the house, and from what we understand, their bodies were found already decomposed. But just to speak to us is a neighbor, an immediate neighbor of the two ladies whose bodies were found here this evening, is Mtutuzi. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us at the SABC this evening. Please explain to us what you saw and what raised your suspicions this afternoon.
Today, this morning, being no malume lo ongenzeli charity la ngaphandle, and all of a sudden what happened ukuthi sithe sisasebenza nomalume sezwa nje esinye isimele singekho right, sacabanga nje ukuthi mhlambe kungenzeka khona into isilwane esifile, but sithe masiphosa amehlo ngakamakhelwane sabona itimbungane ewindini sithe futhi masiqhubekela phambili yonke indlu, it's like every room bekunetimbungane, smell siloku siqhubekile njalo. Into lesiyendile sibese siyafona njengoba umakhelwane sinokucheckana nje, ngiyafona sifonela umama, masifona sithola ukuthi ifoni kaMama iku voicemail, siya ku voicemail, and then masifonela the daughter, masimfonela na ifoni ya voicemail. So ngase ngizama abantwana bakaMama engibaziyo ngathola u1, even though ngashongo ukuthi ngisuspecta ini. Sithe sekunjalo kwabe sekufika ubhuti kaMama. Uma efika ke naye mase sihlangana egate, ngiyamtshela ukuthi hayi mani ngiworried ngoba ngizwe isimele singekho right, and kunempungane la ngasemawindini, so angazi ukuthi kwenzakalani. And then ubhuti naye mangimkhombisa ebona lapha waseshaqeka kakhulu ukuthi something must be wrong. Wabese uya check around wabona ukuthi hayi nangempela ngathi khona into engekho right. Wasehamba ke ayo wa consult wa check amaphoyisa. Mebuya ke sasithola lesimo lesinje.
But when last did you see them? I understand that this area is quite quiet. Njengoba ushilugcineni ngibabona usisi nomama.
Umama bekumuntu othanda ukuhlala nje endlini. Jokingly nje kwesinye isikhathi mengimbona ngaphandle bese bengivamile ukuthi hey siyabonga makhi namhlanje siyabonana ngaphandle, bekungena umuntu othanda ukuzulazula. But nje bekumuntu othanda ipeace, othanda ukuyihlalela endlini. And then udaughter benginokumbona every morning maphuma nje bekuyingane ekhuthele, bephuma ecleaner nje sibonana, a bubble soul, bejwalene nabantwana bami nje. So nalandleleni besihlangana naye simlift nje, bekumntwana othanda ukuhleka kakhulu, sishaqeke kakhulu ngalesimo lesendekile.
Siyabonga baba. Mxolisi, Mtutuzi here, a neighbor, an immediate neighbor, saying to us he also was suspicious when he saw flies and of course the foul smell coming from the house earlier on this morning when he was busy with the garden together with somebody that he had hired to help him around his yard. He says that earlier on he said to us that he last saw them, I think last week, Wednesday or Thursday. So you can imagine how long they've been in this house and everything just gone quiet. And as he says that they tried calling them on numerous occasions, but their phones went to voicemail. So that tells us another story of how long they've been in this house. Of course, we are still waiting for police spokesperson to come and give us an update. But as you can see behind me, forensic is still on the ground. Earlier on, we saw the bodies being taken away, of course, by the pathology services. Neighbors are also still here, looking asking themselves these questions as to what happened to the two ladies who lived in this house. And I wish it was in the afternoon so you could see what kind of an area it is, but I'm sure UAS is trying as much as possible to show you what kind of an area this is. In all honesty, KaMagugu is one of the most quiet suburbs or areas in Mbombela, as Mpumalanga has said earlier on, that they wouldn't see each other often, but when they do see each other, of course, they are happy to see each other. And it's a quiet place. As he said, they use their cell phones to check on each other. As he has said to us that he last saw them sometime around last week, Wednesday and Thursday. So, of course, them not picking up their phones also raised suspicions on his side. And, of course, earlier on we showed the viewers at home, community members are out in their numbers, of course, looking in shock as to what could have happened, because they say to us they didn't hear any sounds. There was nothing suspicious happening that week or last week, this week and last week, nothing that would lead them to think that something might have happened to the two ladies in this house. As we have heard, we understand also that their ages range between, the older lady was about 60 years old and the other lady, the niece, was actually around 20 years old. But as I'm saying, it's quite a quiet area and neighbors would have been suspicious. Of course, we also don't have answers as what might have happened to them. We are still waiting for the police to come and give us that information. As you can see, they are still combing the scene, trying to find clues and trying to find answers that, of course, they're going to give to the mother who's sitting just behind us with her heart broken, and she can't say much to us. She's just shocked and shattered. She just keeps on saying to us, "Why my child? Why didn't they take me? What could have happened to them?" But she suspects that they might have been murdered. Of course, that is unclear, unconfirmed at this point. We are still going to wait for the police to give us a detailed explanation or detailed answers as to what are they finding in the house, what clues have they found so far, and of course, if they are going to be making any arrests anytime soon.
And just to pick up from that conversation you just had now with Mr. Mokoena there with you, I heard in isiZulu or in isiSwati just basically telling you that, you know, they've known them to be quite a tight-knit community around there. What further details do we have around them? Is this a mother-daughter duo that that has since passed away? And also paint a picture for us in terms of the area. Has there been any incidents such as this one? Because you just said now this is a quiet area as you've painted out for us at this moment. What kind of an area is it on any given day?
Of course, KaMagugu is quiet, like literally quiet. It's one of those areas that are quiet. And if you can see, even the houses, they are closely knit together. Like they are so close to each other that I'm sure you can hear what is happening when your neighbor is talking in the other house. That's how close these houses are. So of course, the neighbors, I'm sure they would have picked up something. But like Mokoena said to us that he didn't hear anything. The neighbor on the other side also said he did not see or hear anything. So of course, this raises suspicions as to what might have happened to the two ladies in this house. Also, Mxolisi, to answer your question, it is an old lady who is the aunt to the lady, the younger lady, the 20-year-old. It's a 20-year-old niece and her aunt who were found in this house. We understand that this 20-year-old grew up in this area, as Jabu Ndubane had said to us that she was friends with some of her children. She grew up together, and this aunt who she was found with, unfortunately having passed on, is the one that raised her. So she grew up in this area. They know each other, they call each other, they check up on each other. And in terms of incidents, I'm sure this is the first time that I've heard of anything like this in this area. Of course, we do know that community by community, there are issues of crime, issues of house robberies and stuff. But in this case, what we are seeing here in KaMagugu is the first of its kind. Like I'm saying to him, it's quite a quiet area. And if you could have seen or could see the kind of area that it is, in my time here, this is the first time that I've actually come to KaMagugu to cover such a story. I think, oh, there's Nhlahla Ndubane. She just arrived on the scene, but as you can see, she's walking to try and get information. I'm just going to try and call her to come and speak to us, just to give us what she has so far. But she says, okay, she says she just arrived on the scene. She'll give us information in about 10 minutes. She'll know exactly what went down here or what happened to the two ladies whose bodies were sadly found in this house and in a decomposed state, and of course with a foul smell.
Certainly we'll be waiting on that update with the police there. Nhlahla Jele, in the meantime, thank you so much indeed for that update.